Hello painters! I'm back today to try out some more of these products that I tried in a previous video. You may have seen the first time that I tried these new DecoArt Media Fluid Acrylics, and oh my goodness, it was so gorgeous. That painting is off over on the side there waiting for it to dry right now, and I'm so in love. I keep going over and kind of looking at it and going, wow, that's so gorgeous. The way the colours, just you can see through them all in so many layers, it's beautiful. So I've got some more colours. The first time I used some really bright primaries. This time I thought I'd go for something kind of sexy and sophisticated. So I have got the carbon black and also a cadmium red hue, which is very sexy red. And my first metallic, this one is a metallic silver. And I also found this one. This is an interference gold. So I think it's not like a paint itself, but what I'm going to do, I think, is add it to my red and see if I can get some gold sparkles in with my red colour. So, DecoArt, these are the DecoArt Media Fluid Acrylics. DecoArt do have a pouring medium coming out. It's been announced, but it's not yet ready and available in the shops. So for the time being, I'm using a Liquitex pouring medium to try these out. And I've got some colours mixed up. Here is my silver, looks good. My black, let's put the sticks in. And here's my very sexy red. And I'm going to put some of this interference gold in with the red there. I don't know really how much to add. Let's go for 5 drops, shall we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then give it a mix round. And hopefully that will add just a little bit of gold sparkle to my red colour. So that looks good. So in terms of how I've mixed them, basically it's just pure pouring medium, and then I've added in some drops of colour. These ones here were around 10 drops of colour. This one the same, and then I've also added 5 drops of the interference. So basically I think the more pouring medium you have, the more drops you add in, just until you get to the right consistency. These bottles are small, but because you're only using it basically like a drop at a time, these are going to last me a long time, so I'm very happy with it. What isn't going to last me a long time is my pouring medium, so I need to see if I can find something, some more of that. So I thought, what I am not good at all is puddle pours. Hopeless at puddle pours. But I'm going to give it a try with these new paints, and maybe I'll get something a little bit different. So today, a little bit more acceptable perhaps. So today I have lost my track entirely what I was going to say. Anyway, let's just go for it, shall we? Sometimes I do that. I chat away in front of the camera and I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say about silicone. That's it. I added just 1 drop of the treadmill silicone to each of the colours. In the previous one I'd done, I had 2 drops of the silicone, and I did a flip cup, and when I lifted it up, it went crazy with cells. This time I thought I'd just add 1 drop and we will see what happens. Also, I'm doing a puddle pour, so it's a lot less likely that I'll get any cells in this one. So let's see how we get on. I'll just give it a quick stir around. And of course the consistency of them is perfect. It's easy to work with because it's just pouring medium, so I don't have to do anything to get the right consistency. It's just easy. So I'm going to make some little puddles and see how this works out for me. I'm using a ceramic tile, and I've not done anything to prepare it other than just to make sure it's clean and dry, grease free. I thought it would be also interesting to see how the colours reacted when I put them on top of each other, whether they stayed the same, whether they bled into each other, what would happen with the colours. Now, I think I should have a look and see about transparency. Whoop. I'm not very careful. These little pots have got a lip on. They're not ideal for pouring clean puddles because it kind of hits the lip on the way down. So on the back of the bottles, it gives you lots of information about light fastness, the pigments used, and so on. It tells me that the silver is semi-transparent, the cadmium red is also semi-transparent, the black is opaque, and of course the gold is also transparent. So yeah, look, see, I can pour decent circles with these little pots. Maybe Oh no, I don't think that'll be any better. Oh, that was a good circle. Let's try that one. A bit more red. Oh, see, puddle pores, absolutely hopeless. There is no hope for me. Oh, maybe there is, we'll see. Let's see what I got. A bit more red in that one. Ah, oh, dreadful. Let's go with some silver again. So I'm hoping, I've never really found a silver acrylic paint that I've been happy with. The silver acrylic paints that I've used, all of them have had a tendency to go kind of, oh, messed up there, to go kind of grey in my pores rather than actually feel like a silver metallic in the end. So I've got high hopes for this one today. Of course, we won't be able to tell until it dries, but I want to really see what this one's going to look like. So I'm going to put some more silver in there again, just so I'm mixing up which colours go on top of which one for a change. And then we'll get to see, you know, how they react together, and the transparency and everything like that. So I don't know how much paint I'm going to need. These are really quite fluid, so they probably move around. They're a little bit thinner, I think, than I normally mix my regular acrylic paints. But it's hard to say. I think they probably are a bit thinner. I think it moves a little bit more. So is that enough? Which colour do I want to be on the top? The silver, the black or the red? Should we go with more red? A little bit of red. Oh goodness, I am so messy. It's no wonder I can't do a decent puddle pour. I just can't make decent puddles. I'm so messy. Okay. So let's call that a day in terms of the paints added, and I can put those off to one side and save those. And let's see how I go with this puddle making. I'm going to tilt it around and see what happens. Okay, so I think when I tilted these the first time, because I was a bit unfamiliar with them and how fluid it was, I think I tilted a bit too fast, because they do move a bit quicker than when I have my acrylic paints. They're a little bit more fluid. So I'm going to try and do it a little slower today. I'm just dabbing the edge to break the kind of the surface tension on the paint and help them to move without me having to go crazy with the tilting. That looks very nice. Let's bring it back this way. You can see I've already got some interesting cells starting to form there. And I can see the silver looks really very, very shimmery and metallic. There we go. Oh, this is so nice. So before, obviously, I used very, very bright, kind of shiny, primary type colours. This time, so that we get a more, a different view of how these paints react, I'm using something very different. So we've got a metallic, the red with a little bit of the interference colour, and a black, so that we can see what they look like when they layer up on top of each other. Because before, with the flip cup, I had awesome layering. I could really see fabulous, fabulous colours. Each colour was kind of, oh no, look, I've got a little bit of oil there. Just going to dab it with my finger where it's causing, yeah, and here. Oh dear. So this is a tile that I've used before and I've washed it, but I wonder whether it was a little bit greasy, because I've got some areas where the paint isn't sticking as well as I would like. So user error there probably. Let's dip in with these just a little bit on the edge. Okay, so I pop that down. So where I've got these little voids, I'm going to drop some extra colour in there. Let's see, let's go with some sexy red. And put a little drop of sexy red. Oh, it would help if I actually put it in the hole, wouldn't it, rather than somewhere random. Drop of sexy red. And in there. Okay, yeah, it's still creating little voids. I think I had some oil still on the edge of this tile. So mostly on the edge here, aren't they? Okay, it happens. That's why we experiment with things, just to see what's going to happen. Okay, so it's interesting that the red is not that vibrant. The black has taken over much more, because of course that's the opaque colour, and as I've put the red on top, it's transparent and the black is shown through a lot more. But the silver looks really nice, really good. So I think I'm just going to finish dabbing in where I've got a little bit around these edges and corners, and then I'll dry this one up and show you what it looks like when it's finished. It's a shame that I've got a bit of grease on this tile, I think, but it's only an experiment just to see how things are going to work out. And always do a little bit more again. Oh, I've got still a few little bits and pieces coming through. I'm going to put a few little drops in there and we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's get my glasses off. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands up, and then I'll bring the camera down and show you a few more details of what this looks like. And there we go, looking sexy. My husband would love this. He loves anything red and black. So I've used these colours for him today, plus Valentine's Day is coming up. So maybe this can be his new Valentine's Day coaster in his favourite sexy colours. So you can see all the metallics, absolutely fabulous in this silver. I've got high hopes that this silver is going to be probably, hopefully, the best one I've ever used. And it does look really nice. And again, it's all very kind of translucent, and you can see all of the layers in the paint in this section just here. Just really beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to dry it up and then I'll show what it looks like when it's finished. And here it is dry, and I absolutely love this. And good thing is too, my husband absolutely loves it too. So look at all of the fabulous details in here. You can't see it so well if I hold it away from the camera because it goes kind of dark. But when I bring it up close, you can see all the amazing details. Now, of course, I've used transparent colours over black. So it was a bit of an experiment to see what would happen, but they've still dried pretty good actually. You can still see plenty of the silver, plenty of the red, lots of really great colours in there, and the silver is super shiny. Lots and lots of little metallic bits in there. It's really nice. So another awesome experiment with these DecoArt Media Fluid Acrylic paints. I'm definitely going to use these again in the future. I love the effects that I get with them. And the surface, well, you can see the reflection of my camera there. It's so glossy, even though I've not added anything to it. Now with the less silicone this time, I've also got absolutely minimal surface dimples. I had more dimples on the first one. This one, there's very little of that. It's dried so perfectly and glossy already, it almost needs nothing else adding to it. It's just lovely. So this is going to be my husband's Valentine's present. He already loves it. He loves red, black and silver. Those are his favourites. So this will be sat next to his computer with his coffee mug on any day soon. As usual, thank you very much for watching. It's always a pleasure to have you along.